This level was started mostly just like the kind of the opening shot where you're coming out of the cave and you really see this big temple. Was pretty early in the design of the level, where I wanted to kind of have this, you know, kind of picturesque moment here, and also being able to see your end goal from the entrance as well. This is one of the more, I guess we call it pretzel levels, where the course is very much kind of going around itself. It's kind of using this one art space for the different game mechanics. So instead of having a long corridor that has all the mechanics and we have to do art all the way down that corridor or whatever, we take it in one space. In this case, we go outside the temple, we go inside the temple, and then we go across, and you're still able to see the temple when you finish the game, and it's kind of, you're looking down on it. So it's really trying to reuse the art assets by staying in the same space as you're going through the level. This is another one of our earlier uses where we're going to a more extreme camera angle for dramatic effect when you're going into the temple, and you have the snow falling away down the cliffs as you go, just for about added drama. And we know exactly what you're going to be doing, because the gameplay is is constrained to that curve that's kind of hugging the cliff wall here. So we know it's safe to take the camera up into a more extreme position than the typical gameplay camera.
I love, in general, the kind of circuitous route through this whole level. The fact that you get through one area and then slide down to another, and then sidle across cliff face over to another, and etc. There's kind of an interesting route through the whole level. I like the firework platforms too. Those were a great idea.
I think this was the first use of this use of lasers, where it's really close. It's just close to the ground. It's not like sweeping across the whole hallway. It's creating this, this dynamically changing play area that when you first come up to it, it's like, oh, it's fairly intimidating, because you see the glow on the ground. You see it's like this, it's constantly changing, but they're actually pretty easy to play. So it's kind of making things, for more inexperienced players, having them see a moment where it looks very dangerous, and then them getting through it successfully is something that it's good, because it gives them a sense of accomplishment. So that's the reason why it's just kind of this cool thing that's actually fairly easy to play through. And once this one was put in the game, there's several other areas where we decided that we could use this and change the speeds and change the sweep patterns to give it a different feel, and to really, just make it faster and makes the difficulty harder. So you can definitely dial it up to be challenging, but in this case it was set up for one of the earlier levels, so it's pretty straightforward actually.